Perry felt constantly picking Harry Kane at the Euros was a dereliction of duty by Gareth Southgate and his backroom team. And I've got to be honest, Perry, broadly, an awful lot of the talkSPORT listeners agree with you.
Makes change. It's not.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
First. If I've been doing this 15 years.
Yeah, QPR Stew is one of them. Who else? Patrick, even a Spurs fan thinks you're right. Blimey, it's come to this.
The thing is, as well, I don't know beyond the scenes what Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's saying to him, and his mate Steve Holland. But surely, if you're trusted coaches, surely they should be saying, Gaffer, I'm not being funny, he ain't right.
Yeah.
You can't be playing him. They can't all be. And the physio's actually saying, yeah, it'd be all right, Gaffer, to be fair. I think he's be better.
Thing of, I mean, we had it. One of the listeners said that we had a little bit in that Champions League final against Liverpool in Madrid where he wasn't completely fit, but he came back in because he is Harry Kane. He is the talisman. He is the guy that can pop up and get you the goal. And he was kind of joint leading scorer in the competition, albeit with 3 goals. But still, it still doesn't make it right, does it?
Do you know the players? I said about Jude Bellingham. Obviously, you could tell he was getting a bit tetchy. Understandably so, right? In the dressing room afterwards, if you get beat in any final and you know that you've left it all out there and you couldn't give any more, whether it's effort or technical ability and talent, and you've done everything, it's still going to be disappointing.
You'll be at peace with yourself.
You can live in... Those players in that dressing room would have been without actually... I'd love to know if there's any rows, because at half-time, even me, even if it was Ian Wright and Alan Smith, like all-time greats, if I was playing and I knew that they were costing me at half-time and they weren't running about, I would say, are you struggling? Are you struggling here? Can you not go and close down? Can you not go and track back? Can you not hold the ball up? Can you not engage centre-halves? Because if you can't, you're costing us. And Justin Rose had a brilliant interview after the Open.
Yeah.
We had a brilliant last round, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he said, I put everything I could out there. He said, I attacked every part. I did everything I could. And he actually said to him, I'm going to give myself a 10 out of 10 for the way that I approached it and my attitude. Those players in that dressing room were all been sitting there thinking, we ain't done ourselves justice here. We were looking round. I'm not saying they didn't give 100% and try, but on their talent, Gareth Southgate, England got to the final, not because of Gareth Southgate, despite Gareth Southgate, because of the brilliant individual talents. Jude Bellingham's overhead kick, Harry Kane scoring Lee's header, Bukayo Saka scoring brilliant goal, Ollie Watkins coming on scoring a great goal. They're all individual moments what got him out of a hole, and he still didn't have the cojones, because you're paid the big bucks to make big decisions when you're the manager, and he didn't do it. And that's why, unfortunately, he's not elite. That's unfortunate.
As we said, we have got quite a lot of people tending to agree with your take on that, Perry. Now, a lot of players are out on pre-season tours, and everybody's flying around the world. My lot off to Japan, the mighty Spurs, etc. Out and about, Angie's old stomping ground. But back in the day, I mean, Tottenham used to go to Cork and they'd play games, and they'd maybe go to Norway. So that was about as exotic. Not that there's anything wrong with Norway, but that's as exotic as it tended to get. You go a bit of a Scandinavian tour if you were pushing it. It's very different these days. But you had memories of it. You did go to the States and play, didn't you?
You're right with Norway, because we used to go to Norway normally.
Yeah.
And the reason we did that, because they were halfway through their season.
Right.
So the teams you were playing were a lot fitter than you.
Sure.
So they give you a real good test. Not necessarily on the technical side, but always big, strong, athletic teams. So then one season, randomly, they said, right, we're going to Miami. And we're like, oh, fantastic. Pre-season Miami. And it was for the unofficial World Club Championship, because obviously English teams were banned from Europe at the time.
Yeah.
Independiente were the South American champs. So we were playing them at the Joe Robbie Stadium, the Miami Dolphins Stadium. So we went to West Palm Beach. It was a lovely complex golf course playing there. And when it's not great for gingers out there, by the way, at that time. You
had your cap on, did you?
Oh, you're not wrong. I was in a balaclava and like bin bag. So because of the heat and humidity, obviously we couldn't even train at 10 o'clock, 10:30. So Gary Lewin said, what we're doing, George Graham, train at 8, 8:30 in the morning. Then you have your break, refuel, restock. Then when the sun starts going in, we start training again at 6:30, 7. So you do 2 sessions a day. The first session that we had, we did a high-intensity session, and we had the Gatorade, to go to energy drink. And we put it on. We said, look, tell him how shattered we are. Oh, God, Louis, I'm not my phone. We can't even run here. It's a nightmare, blah, blah. So we did the first session, all completely drained. And I think the gaffer, George, he had some other extracurricular activities he could go to
Right.
in the meantime.
Right.
And in the end, they said, it's so humid or whatever, we can't take that much out of you. You're only training at 8:30. That's it. 8:30 till 10, 10:30. Got the rest of the day to yourselves. That's a long time. 24 hours on a
What
pre-season.
could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
Bunch of footballers in Miami.
So we obviously refueled and restocked.
Right, yeah.
Quite heavily.
Sort of self-discipline that the club at the time was known for.
We played golf, where we just ended up doing wacky races with the buggies because the golf course was far too difficult. So that went on for that. We beat Independiente on the David Rocastle, bless his God rest his soul. He scored twice, so we beat him in the Miami Dolphins Stadium. We beat them 2-1.
Wow.
So we're world,
you were world
unofficial
champions.
world club champions. Everything's fine. Came home. We had a week before the season started, and I also remember, most fans remember, we played Manchester United away from home.
Yeah,
Old Trafford.
that was a famous game, wasn't it?
That was the Michael Knighton is going to buy Manchester United, and
Did all the keepy uppies
he come running, and we were in
to
the
the
tunnel.
Stratford
He
end.
come running past us with his tracksuit on and keepy uppies in the centre circle, and we thought, God, he's not bad, he's right. And who's that? He went, he's going to buy Man United. And you remember he actually ran from the centre circle into the 18 and scored, didn't he?
That's
Put it
right.
and raised his arms. And we think, cool, you got some front, mate. Well played. We got beat 4-0 that day, right? It was like someone had chopped our legs off.
Wow.
Nobody could run. All completely
Because you'd had a
heavy
week
legs.
on the lash.
But a week on a lash, but also obviously the heat and humidity.
Yeah.
So we weren't training at high intensity. So it took us, the beginning of that season, I'd say 3 weeks to a month to get back to what should have been your pre-season fitness level. Do you know what I mean? So so that taking, especially in the late 80s, early 90s, a group of players to Miami for pre-season wasn't a particularly good idea.
You know, a lot of them are in the States at the moment, or in the Far East, where it's very hot and it's very humid. And as we touched earlier on what happened with Tuchel, when Tuchel had the two split squads and they were flying off here, there and everywhere, the pre-season was interrupted. It isn't helpful, is it? It isn't particularly helpful that the guys are flying here, there and everywhere. I know they're in business class, they're not in cattle class, but still, it's not great.
No, what it is, we said before, going across the USA, different time zones.
Yeah.
You know, so anybody
sleep patterns.
anybody who's been on holiday,
Yeah.
when you come back, and if it's a long haul flight, you could be in first class, whatever.
Yeah.
When you get back off the plane, you're still shattered.
Groggy, yeah.
Don't matter what it is. And players are human beings. I said about, I've got no sympathy for being tired at all, but it does affect your body when you're going. And what Enzo Maresca will do is he'll have the obviously the fitness sessions and regimes planned out, but also he'll know straight away which players are going to play in which games. I'll be amazed if there's many players that play 2 games on the trot. Do you know what I mean? They'll play a game, be on the bench for the next one, play a game, be on. So out of that 5 games, players will probably play at the most 2.5, 3 games. Do you know what I mean? That'll be the most that they play.
I mean, the managers, finally, are in no position really to complain. I mean, they can't complain about it. The clubs want to do these. I mean, you do get the odd dissenting voice amongst the managers about, do we really want to drag halfway across the world? But no one ultimately puts their foot down. No one says, no, we're not doing that. We are going to Norway, or we are going to go to. We're not dragging these players across the world so close to the season. But they understand, I suppose, the top managers, the kind of commercial nature of it. But it seems to be. Every year it seems to grow and grow and grow.
Well,
We've got this World Club Championship coming up as well. It's going to take up a summer. So you wonder where it does end.
Yeah, but the thing is, obviously, it's expanding the brand, isn't it? Like, especially in USA. It's Premier League there is huge over there at the moment. And what is
there's
Premier
other
League
ways of
owners
doing it.
got-
I had a chat with Emma Hayes ages and ages ago when she was quite early on at Chelsea time at a do, and the women's team would often go out. Some of they couldn't make the men's team, but the profile of women's football in the Far East so great that they'd be very happy to see Chelsea women go out there, and the sponsorship was looked after. It was Samsung at the time or whatever, so everybody was kind of happy. I mean, that's not true of every team.
Yeah.
Chelsea take their women's football very seriously, and that's changed. But there are maybe ways of doing that doesn't mean that the players have to fly halfway around the world a couple of weeks before the season.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, as you said there, you'll get your sponsors, you'll get your commercial partners, you'll have contracts with these commercial partners where normally, in probably about 4 or 5 years ago, there'd be certain players that had to play, wasn't there? There'd be certain players that had to go and play in these games.
Ronaldo, when people wanted their money back because he didn't play,
because he didn't show,
he didn't turn up for a game. So that is nuts. I mean, you can't have a situation where we'll only give you the money for the friendly, or we'll only turn out if that guy's playing. So anyway,
I don't think it would have bothered Ronaldo that much, to be fair.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.